Hello there, it's Dusty Thunder again with another Reddit story for you. This one comes from AITA, and it is titled, Am I the Astronaut for Telling My Family No More to Monthly Family Dinners? Ever since my dad was a kid, our family has done monthly family dinners, nicer ones than your average family dinner. It's something our family did when my siblings and I were kids too. We'd have grandparents over and we'd all have a nicer dinner together. When my siblings and I grew up, we still did it, only instead of what happened before, where branches broke off over time and did their own, they decided we should include partners and spouses and our kids as a whole in one. By the time I was 19, the family had decided they would take turns hosting each month to lessen the burden. My wife was excited to be a part of them at first. We started during our relationship. I did the cooking to start, and then she took over after a while because she wanted to. My family had seemingly gotten along with my wife before this point, but they were overly harsh of her cooking, with the exception of my two younger siblings. She tried to make them happy, but no dice. I told them they could be kinder. They said she should cook better or cook different things. Wow. Way to be grateful for the meal that somebody gave you for free, you dicks. They said she should cook better or cook different things. My wife didn't make anything they don't eat, but nothing was right. She grew frustrated and I grew suspicious. So we hosted a couple of months ago and I told my wife we were going to pretend I did the cooking just to see. She told me she felt like they were just not fond of her food. I pointed out that nobody had the same amount of complaints as them, and they even criticized the steak and potatoes they all seemed to go crazy for. She went along with the plan, and when my family thought I had cooked it, they loved it. Said it was so good, my wife had decided to let a real talent take over. Wow, these are pieces of shit. That it was so nice to have something a little different, curry, and all this very lovely stuff. My younger brother and sister weren't fooled, but they enjoyed watching the rest of our family dig a hole. When the rest of my family heard it was my wife's food and not mine, they tried so hard to backtrack on all the nice stuff. The rest of the dinner went in tense silence and my wife's eyes were opened. I told her I was done with these dinners and she was my priority. She felt a little bad. I told her we could have dinners with my younger brother and sister sometimes. It's less stress anyway. When we didn't show up to last month's dinner or this one, my parents and siblings started asking questions. I told them each time we weren't going again, but missing two made it sink in. They told me we need to be there. I said, never again. My wife doesn't deserve their disrespect. I told them they ruined what they wanted by being assholes to her. They said I was overreacting, making very relationship-harming choices, and treating them badly for simply having issues with my wife's food. They also said to think of future kids and how they'll miss out. Some of it got to my wife a little, which I have tried to reassure her about. Am I the astronaut? They don't have an issue with her food. They have an issue with her. That was proven. Additional comments here. Comment. NTA, it's pretty clear the issue isn't her food. It's her. For whatever reason, they don't seem to like her. Good for you for standing up to them. OP, having that confirmed sucked badly, but I wasn't going to pretend that it was okay to treat her this way either. They wouldn't come right out and say it either. They tried to hide behind the food. Comment, start a new tradition with your younger brother and sister, invite them only to your house, forget the rest of them. OP, that's the plan. Yeah, I think it's a really good plan. And I think you need to call them to the carpet, OP, on this and say, look, you cannot say that it's the food. You can't, because we proved with an experiment that it's not. It's been proven. You targeted her as a human being, because when you thought I had cooked the same damn food, you loved it. As soon as you found out it was really her, you hated it. The food didn't change. The cook did. Yeah, what the... And good for you, OP, for prioritizing your wife and the family that you created rather than the family you came from. Their insistence that you need to be there, like, why? Why? This is monthly too. It's like the holidays once a month with your crew. I mean, it would be cool if everybody got along, but as soon as somebody starts being an ass bag, the whole thing falls apart. And it was the parents that started being the ass bags. What do you expect? The monthly family get-together is not a time to just be unbridled assholes to whoever you want. That's not what it's for. It's for being together, for camaraderie, for having quality time with one another that you might not get otherwise. It is not an opportunity to beat up on people. I am all for starting the new tradition with the people who aren't ass bags. Start your own thing. You know what? Plan it on the same night. Have your own side thing the same night as their thing, so the people who come to yours have to miss theirs. This is war. NTA for you, OP. And the question was, am I the astronaut for telling my family no more to monthly family dinners. Absolutely not. Your family's got to go to ask on one, because even after proving that this was targeting her as a human being, they still tried to backtrack and say it was the food, and then tried to make you feel bad. They're trying to pretend like nothing happened. They just don't like her as a person. And it sounds like it could be an ethnic thing. They may not like her because she's different. Huh. Okay, so it's not an ethnic thing, Candy Thunder said from comments. So she's the same as the rest of them, but she enjoys cooking different foods. So there's no clear distinction on what it is they have a problem with for her specifically. But it is something. It is something. Here we go. Okay. So OP says, I've asked them once why they were so harsh about her cooking. The answers they gave me tell me they won't be honest about the why. They also denied that they disliked my wife, but clearly they do, since they loved the food once they thought I cooked it. So they're just lying. They're just lying about it. They can't even own up to it, which is just so cowardly. It's like, okay. Yep, not going to be doing that anymore. Good for you. Probably should have done it a long time ago, but you did it, and that's the important part. It's interesting that it's your family. Your wife is the one who feels bad now because some of the comments got to her. She's wondering if she's the asshole or if you guys are assholes for not doing this. You're not. You know what's right. She's wondering. Maybe they hate her because she's good. It could be jealousy driven. It absolutely could be. They can't be kind to someone that isn't like from them. So when they thought it was your food, OP, they're all for it. But as soon as they found out it was hers, they're like, oh no, that can't be right. That can't be right. Possible.